What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. It appears that Jonathan Majors has went through somewhat of a out-of-body experience, very similar to what the so-called Apostle Paul had on his way or road to Damascus. You guys remember that story. He was once a Pharisee, a persecutor of Christians, but then on the road to Damascus, he was hit with a bright light. Jesus allegedly spoke to him and said, "Why are you persecuting me?" Something to that effect, if I can remember the story. And then for 3 days could not see. And then that was a life-changing experience. And he went from being a Pharisee to really the biggest advocate of Christianity ever. Even bigger than Jesus in that respect, because Jesus wasn't a Christian, but Paul spread the gospel of Jesus Christ all through Gentile territory and wrote the majority of the New Testament. So he had a change of heart, if you will. And Brother Jonathan Majors also is very Paul-like. Not to mention, I forget, Paul was Saul before, so he had a name change. And Jonathan Majors seems to have a change of heart after experiencing some career-shortening charges leveraged against him from his ex-white girlfriend, and now meeting Megan Good, who is 42 years old, recently divorced. Someone left her, Devon Franklin. That's very important to understand. She was dumped. Okay, she was dumped. And yet and still, Jonathan Majors is now dating her. He's 34, she's 42. But what's interesting is Jonathan Majors, in particular, only dates white women. But here's the big change. He's going around calling her the missus. That's interesting. The missus. Now, they were there at the basically black and white gala in DC. It was hosted by the Congressional Black Caucus, and he said, "Y'all heard the missus." So people were saying, "Whoa, that's interesting. Y'all heard the missus, so that's what it is." It appears that they're interested in getting married. But why is he saying this now? I believe that he had that wake-up call. That wake-up call is interesting. And I'm going to tell you what, because nobody else will touch Jonathan Majors. That's it. All of those white friends and everything is there. All of it is gone. They're gone. At the end of the day, all you got, and I'm trying to tell people that right now, even if you don't look at it, all you got is your group. That's all you got. You don't got to believe it. You don't got to listen to it. All you got is your people. And it's enough to make him change. Now, I'm thinking about this because, again, he's a younger guy, and Megan Good seems to do very well with picking guys she has somewhat of advantage over. Like Jonathan Majors, the way he was going, he would have never talked to her if nothing happened to him. That would have been it. But he is 8 years younger. So that's one thing. 8 years younger. Okay. What else? He's in a position that he needs someone like her to support him. And will it last? Absolutely not. If they get married. No, can't last. I don't think so. But it did put it into perspective. Who is the woman that's sticking by him right now? I don't see no other white woman doing it. What happened to them in that situation? All of his white friends and some of the black ones like Michael B. Jordan won't even touch him. Who came near his defense? A black woman. Boy, you better go head on and try to do that, even though I don't think it's gonna work. Because at some point, you gotta stick who's sticking with you. And what I want everybody to know is we are all that we have. I know some of y'all talk about how the black community is messed up. The black community is up. The black community is this. The black community is that. And we tired of each other. And people always lying, people still, that's true. But what else do you got? You can think you got something someplace else. All that somebody got to do is say something against you and say you did something, some white woman or some white man, you're gonna see how loyal those other people are to you. Why ain't Jonathan Majors at no congressional, he at the Black Caucus for a reason, right? Because he can't go to nothing that the whites got. He ain't invited over there. He ain't hanging out with no people in white Hollywood. They've already disowned him. But at the end of the day, your people will still, to a certain degree, have your back, will be willing to forgive you. Look at the people here on social media, if you will, that still got platforms, even though we could say they're controversial. Let's look at Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson, in many ways, is an absolute joke. Still no school, no evidence of doing anything right. Still, he gets on The Breakfast Club. Still, he's charging $3,000 to $5,000 per podcast. But in what sector? In the black sector. Because blacks run that sector. Blacks want to see him. So he ain't got to go to the whites for money. Tariq Nasheed got all kind of opportunity in the black sector. Corey Holcomb ain't got a bootleg for nobody. Tariq the same way. In their sector. Can get plenty of money. Oh, even me, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Hey, look, I'm over here in Africa doing my thing. I'm in the black sector. I'm good over here. Ain't trying to go nowhere else. Why do I need to? Yeah, do you got to work hard? Of course. But our people are the ones that are providing opportunity for what we got. So we stick with what we have because what we got is enough. And it's difficult dealing with, black people, relationships, stuff like that. But once you figure it out, hey, wait a minute, look, I got my wake up call. I thought I was over there with them. No, they don't want me over there with them. Hey, and showed their hand. Let me come over here and deal with the people that's actually showing me love. And I'm gonna tell you, every black person gonna get that experience. I got it. Some is more subtle than others. Look at this lady, Leslie Jones. She's complaining about, in her memoir, how she was treated very poorly. She was given $150,000, okay, for being in Ghostbusters. The lady who actually was the lead in Ghostbusters, in that particular movie, that lady ended up getting $14 million, okay? Melissa McCarthy, $14 million. What does that tell you? Many of us are trying to be accepted in places in which we're not welcome. And the only way that you're gonna have at least some level of ownership or folks who are gonna support you is to create your own environment. That's what he's doing. And although I don't think it's gonna work with her, I applaud the man because I feel like the woman is there for you when ain't nobody else there for you. It's a good place to start, bro. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.